Hold on. This will not work. This week is Spirit Week, so we can't sing the theme song in just the same old way. It needs a little more, dare I say, spirit? Or should I say, funk?
Boy, oh boy, it's Spirit Week. Man, oh man, it's Spirit Week. I live each day for Spirit Week. I just can't sleep, it's Spirit Week. I wait all year for Spirit Week. My dreams came true, it's Spirit Week. Now brace yourself. Spirit Week.
Yeah!
Podcast.
Cristo Rey Podcast. Cristo Rey Podcast. It's Spirit Week. It's Spirit Week. It's Spirit Week. Podcast. Cristo Rey Podcast. Cristo Rey Podcast. It's Spirit Week. It's Spirit Week, yeah!
Welcome back to the Cristo Rey Podcast. This is Rebecca, and Mr. Corrigan is absolutely right. This week, we're just finishing up the Black History Month Spirit Week. As Student Council President, I hope you've all had a good start to celebrating Black History Month, and especially today with the Black History Month celebration led by Valentines and Educated. As you know, next week is Valentine's Day, so today on the podcast, we're excited to share a unique love story. I am sure everyone remembers Ms. Vallejo, who was a Spanish teacher at Cristo Rey for many years. Before she left to take a new position as assistant principal at All Saints Academy, she and her husband met with the sophomore theology classes to discuss the vocation of marriage. They shared how they met, fell in love, and eventually married. We present this romantic tale today, led by regular podcast host Emily. We know you'll love it. See what I did there? Okay, Emily, let's have that first question.
The first question is, how did you guys meet?
Well, when we were kids, I think I was 14, she was 13, and we were in our piano recital. Well, I used to play organ and she used to play piano, but we have the same teacher. So we went to this recital and we met backstage, and that's how, yes, and then I just moved, and it was very close to her home. So I started visiting her with, driving my bicycle to try to get her. So that's how we met.
He impressed me because at this recital, the more beginners will play at the beginning of the recital, and the more advanced will play at the end of the recital. And he was the last one playing at the recital. So I was kind of nervous because I wasn't like the first one, but I was like in the middle.
How long have you two been married together?
We've been married 30 years.
How many children do you have, and how old are they?
We have 3 kids. We have Jose, that is 29. We have Maria, she's 27, and we have Bernardo, that he's 25.
Well, how did you know you guys were called to marriage?
We are from Mexico, and in Mexico we are more, or used to be more traditional. We are talking about 30 years ago, more traditional ways. And I saw my parents, and since I was a kid, I saw that if I want to go and live with my girlfriend, I needed to be married. So I was really into the girls, that was my calling. I knew, I was in a Catholic school, and I have some friends that they were called to be priests, and that's fine, but for me it was really, I would love to get married, and that was my calling. So since I was really, a kid, I saw my parents, they were, good couple, you see a good example, and I think that's how I was my calling, that I wanted to, when I was older, I wanted to be married.
And for me, well, you know that I met Jose when he was turning 15. Actually, he invited me to his 15th birthday. You know that in Mexico, the 15, la quinceañera para el quinceañero, he has a twin sister. So the sister was having this quinceañera, and he tagged along with the party, and he invited me to his birthday after we met at this recital. But I have never been in a dance party before. So I was just shy, and I didn't go, and he even remembers that day that I didn't go to this party. But then we became friends, we became a boyfriend and girlfriend, and he proposed.
Hey guys, it's Koya. February is Black History Month, and what Black History Month means to me is culture and community. It reminds me that I'm not just myself, but I also have a large community behind me.
So when I shared with my mom that he has proposed, my mom said, well, Maria, remember that, again, we are from Mexico and our families are very, very traditional. She said, if you get married, forget about going to college. We are not going to be paying for your college anymore because your marriage needs to be the most important thing in your life. And you cannot go to work either. You will become a housewife and you will be taking care of your family. And I knew that I wanted to get married, and it was a goal for me because it didn't matter for me if I wouldn't be able to go to college or go for work or take care of a household. I was willing to do that. I was very happy to do that. So I knew that that was my goal at the time.
What are some of the joys you get to live out as a couple?
Since we were young, when we were married in Mexico, you don't get you cannot live with your girlfriend unless you are married. That was how, it was in my house and in her house. So the first joys were when we, after the wedding, we took a trip and we were out 2 weeks on vacation together. So that was the first one. But then later on, the kids, for us also, one of the best blessings of the marriage is that you can, your kids. For us, it was amazing. It's the best thing ever. It's a lot of work, but it's great. So I think that is one of the best things we were able to have kids.
And I guess for me, it was the same. My dad was a very, very strict person. He never allowed me to go to a sleepover or anything like that. Sometimes he even will buy the clothes that I was wearing and things like that. And then suddenly I get married, and then let's go for a vacation. So we had a really, really good time. Suddenly, yes, now you are responsible to take care of a house, to take care of going to buy groceries and everything. But it was all fun and exciting for us. Mm-hmm. Both had the same idea of we want to get married and start a family together. And we were very fortunate that we shared that same dream at the same time, because 3 months after we got married, I was pregnant with Jose, my oldest son, and we were so excited, so excited. Jose was born on October the 17th, and we were just having 1 year old of the marriage. So it was just, yes, pure joy.
Hey guys, Naomi here. We hope you're enjoying this romantic Valentine's Day tale. But did you know Saint Valentine was a real person? Or rather, persons? Here's Mr. Laughensweiler to explain.
There are actually many Saint Valentines in the church. Some of them are martyrs, some are bishops and priests. The Saint Valentines that we often celebrate on February 14th is a legendary story that we are not sure is historical, of a priest from 270 AD who was martyred for marrying couples in Rome when the Emperor Claudius II, said that it was illegal because he wanted men to serve in the military. Geoffrey Chaucer, who wrote Canterbury Tales, was one of the people who early on popularized this idea of a holiday for love associated with this day and these traditions. I think it'd be good to remember many of the Valentines, including the Saint Valentine that is from the 3rd century, were martyred, and that martyrdom is about sacrifice of love for God, and think about how love as sacrifice can be a valuable way to think about love and showing love in a Christian setting. Maybe that's a good way to live out Valentine's Day today.
We are from Mexico. We came to the U.S. 20 years ago, and also was something that we came by ourselves. We don't have any family here, so we were moving from Mexico to New York, and it also was an adventure because by ourselves, family was in Mexico, they visit, but it's different things. So it was also just being confident that with your best friend, you are going to raise the kids in a different culture and environment, but you are with her, you are with God, and good luck.
And it is beautiful coming from Mexico, going to church every Sunday, and then suddenly you are in a different country, but you go to church and you find God again. And so it is an amazing company that you have in your heart. I hope everybody gives the chance to open your heart to God, because He can be with you. It doesn't matter where you go. If you decide to go to a different place, if you decide to commit your life to other person, God will be there for you every single time. It doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what college you decide to go to. It doesn't matter what school. He's with you, and supporting you and cheering you up and at every single moment. So definitely, I think the presence of God has made us better to each other, made us better for our children, and hopefully to the people that is around us.
What are some sacrifices you have had to make as a married couple?
Well, when you get married, really, it's, or at least how I see it, is that I live to make my kids and her happy. It's really, one of the things is like, you are no longer one person, you are two together. And then some things that you used to do by yourself, then you have to make some exceptions and do all things for other person. So I think is one of the things is you stop being selfish, and then, you have to do, sometimes some sacrifices. When you have babies, you have a lot of sacrifices because the kids need a lot of attention, and, until they speak, you don't know what's going on. But then it's really a partnership, and you become two, but also, when the big thing for me was I was always looking for myself, being very selfish. I want this, I want that, I'm working in this place, I want to buy my own things. And then when you are married and you have kids, pretty much a lot of things are sacrificed because you no longer are doing for yourself. So I can tell you, if you are not willing to share, the marriage is not for you, because this is something that you really, really need to think about it. It's really a partnership and things that you share.
Hi everyone, Nishan here.
And Jay Sean.
Are you interested in science?
Are you looking to join a club?
Then why not join Science Club? A
club about science.
Right after school this Wednesday, Science Club will be meeting in room 317 for a special activities run by science majors at OSU.
The topic this meeting, the paper Airplane STEM Challenge.
Any questions, see Miss Ballman.
Until then, stay sciencey.
I see we got married also very young. I was 23, she was 22. And I think when I see some friends and you get older and older, I think that's natural. You get more selfish because you are older, you like your things, your way, and that's more difficult. For me, it was like, I don't care, if she likes it this way, even the little things, when you use toothpaste. Some people just squish it from the middle, some people likes to do it from the bottom, and some people, when they get older, they get big fights because of that. So for me, it's, if she wants to do it from the middle, I will do it later as I want it, but I will not fight for that thing. So those are the things that other people really, believe me, they are really into that. So they don't like the squish from the middle, or they don't like to leave the squish rod in this place. So those are the things that, hey, I don't care. At the end, I will do it. We will get used to everybody, but being selfish is one of the things that, if you are too much, I think marriage is not really a good idea.
And it is silly, but those probably were our first, I would call it fights, but disagreements, if you will. Maria, you squish the toothpaste from the middle. You need to squish it from the bottom. And I said, what? I didn't even notice when or where I was squishing the toothpaste, right? Or Maria, you left the soap with the bubbles, right? And I didn't even notice. But so those are the silly things that, yes, you need to just overcome.
It's a bunch of little sacrifices that you start doing all the time. So it's really, and it's also that, as Maria says, you cannot do it by yourself sometimes. You really have to offer and be with God to ask for sometimes help and guidance. You will see, you get how many years in high school, how many years in college, how many years since you were little you go to school. And usually when you get married, at least in Mexico, you go for a weekend to a class with a priest, and then that's it. So you are dedicating so many years of for your education, and just a weekend to be prepared for being married. It's not
a long life commitment.
Yes, it's something that is forever. So it's something that you have to think about it. It's a great thing, but it's something that is really built of sacrifices and change your your mind that you are happy if really your wife and your kids are happy. At least that's my experience.
And it has its rewards to imagine having a person that you can count on every single day, every single minute, because we have together for so long, have been together for so long that we know each other well. We know what each one likes or doesn't like. We have shared 3 children with their own problems, and we have built a team between him and I to make sure that our children have the support that they needed. So it is a partnership that has beautiful rewards at the end, and I think the most beautiful one has been just to have a partner next to you and that you can count on.
What are some of the challenges you face, and how has God helped you overcome them?
I can tell you, marriage is a very nice thing, a good thing, but it's really, you have to be unselfish pretty much. If you are a selfish person, it's very difficult because you share, you are getting a partner for life, and pretty much you are happy if your wife and your kids are happy at the end. That's pretty much true. So if you are used to your ways and you don't want to change and you don't want to share, that's fine too, but it's a very good thing to decide that that's the main thing.
Hey guys, it's your girl Icy here. Spirit Week is the perfect time to highlight Cristo Rey Columbus athletic achievements. Since 2021, Cristo Rey Columbus athletic teams have won 6 United League championships: 2021 boys track and field, 2021 girls track and field, 2021 girls cross country, 2021 boys soccer, 2021 girls volleyball, and lastly 2022 girls track and field. To celebrate these accomplishments, conference championship banners were created and hung in the school gymnasium. This fall, the boys soccer and girls volleyball teams both repeated as conference champs and will be added to 2022 to their championship banners. We asked the team captains, Cameron and Maddie, why a winning culture is important at Cristo Rey Columbus and how it feels to be back-to-back champs.
Having a culture of athletic success is really important here at Cristo Rey because I feel like, especially in the underclassmen, it helps them a lot to see how everything that they're doing is helping the team grow and how working together helps everybody, not just yourself.
That's a big part of Cristo Rey culture. Being a student before you're an athlete and having a team, you're able to have a support system outside of your sport. Being part of a back-to-back championship team has been an amazing feeling. Just seeing that aspect of them growing from last year and this year is just amazing. I'm just so astonished, especially being captain for the past 2 years. It really brings me excited for what's to come for them after.
Being a part of a back-to-back championship team makes me feel amazing, especially with being the captain and seeing all my players grow, not only from last season to now, but from the beginning of this season to the end of it, seeing how all of us have worked together and started to trust each other more. And it really helps me to see that all the hard work and effort that we put into our team every day at practice has helped us all to succeed, and it really wasn't for nothing. It shows in the fact that we won and we're champions.
God helped us in a lot of ways. At the beginning, you are in love, completely in love. Of course, you want to get married and everything is fine. But when things start to happen and issues happen, and they always happen things, that's the thing that you have to pray a lot and make sure everything goes okay. As we were saying, it's not an easy thing. it's complicated. I think we were married very young too. I was 23, she was 22. And at that time, I think, you are not that selfish, you don't care a lot of things, But I think if you get older, and that's a fact. You're living alone or you're living by yourself, you get used to your stuff and it's more difficult to share. So I think you have to be sure that this is a commitment for life. In the Catholic, as a Catholic, you know that you get married and you get married for life. It's not that you can, when it gets difficult, you just throw the towel. No, you cannot do that. So you work for that and you make the effort. So I think that's one of the things I would say.
Mm-hmm. And well, when we got married, he is bringing his personality to the table, right? And how he was raised to the table. And I brought my personality and the way I was raised also. And sometimes those things are not the same. And he feels one way or he felt one way and I felt completely different or completely different from him. And sometimes it is just, you really need that to put those things in God's hands and ask him for help to just sometimes think that your point of view doesn't have to be the most important there, but that you can share it with somebody else, or you can make it wider and make it better. And yes, I think also you cannot be selfish. You need to be willing to share, to open your heart, and sometimes it's not easy to do that. But when you know that you can count with God's help, suddenly it happens, like a miracle. It happens, and then things go on, and then again something comes up again that we don't agree with each other, and we do the same. And well, it has brought us to 30 years, happy 30 years.
Yes.
Yes, happy 30 years.
Very good.
How has God made you more holy through your marriage and through your children?
I think God finds His ways to bring you closer to Him, and I think that's what He has made for us in our marriage. That He has reminded us every time, come to me, listen to me, trust me. Because there are so many situations that humans or we in our human power cannot fix or cannot change, and we just have to trust him. Jose, for example, he was a great student, everybody loved him, and then he went to college, and I don't know, I tell Jose, what happened to you? Like, you changed so much, because he was so much into partying and friends, and said, well, what happened to my son? This is not my son. And we worried deeply about him. He started partying from the Thursday to Tuesday, because he didn't have classes on Monday. But we both knew that we needed to give him room to make mistakes and to find his way back. And so what do you do when you worry so much? You just pray, and you trust that God will take care of him. And so those are tough moments in which you just find yourself closer to God, and makes you a better person, allowing Jose to be by himself. I think it made us better as parents.
Hey guys, it's Jade. Everyone misses Miss Vallejo, of course, but have you noticed a new face in the Spanish department? Yes, there's a new Spanish teacher who just joined the staff at the start of the semester. If you hadn't had a chance to meet her yet, here she is to introduce herself.
Hola, my name is Señora Saldaña. I've been teaching for 17 years Spanish. I was born and raised in Mexico, moved 24 years ago. I'm very excited to start working here at Cristo Rey.
And they are, times it is not always trouble, right? But for example, when we see Maria has been very, very successful in her career. And when we see that she has achieved all what she has achieved, there is another way of feeling so thankful, so grateful to God, because we couldn't do it, but Jose or I, she had to do it by herself, and we didn't have anything in the matter. And so that's another way he has brought us close to him.
And with the younger Bernardo too, he was not very clear. He had not very clear what he wanted to do. But little by little, and letting him, learn with the mistakes, but also finding his path. That's also, getting there, getting more classes, more difficult not going to college, but, doing the work and, something that, if we tell them, or I'm sure if your parents tell you something, you are not going to listen sometimes very much. That's reality, Unfortunately, that's it. So, and one thing that my grandmother told me before our first son was going to be born, she said, please sleep now before the first kid is born, because after that you will never sleep good again. And believe me, that's true, because sometimes for no reason, at least happens to me, I woke up 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm thinking, where are my kids? Are they okay or not? Even, in the good things and in the bad, as Maria was saying with Jose in college. So sometimes it's like, well, there's nothing you can do, just pray, hope, wish for the best, tell God, please, my 3 kids are there, and that's it. So it's not easy, but, if you have him, it helps you, and to be a better person and try to hopefully, take care of your kids, because it's being a parent is difficult, and you have no idea, because if your parents tell you something, you probably do the different thing, but it's as a parent it's a very difficult thing to try to guide you.
What advice would you give to students who think they might be called to marriage?
Well, it's something that is not easy first. I know you can be in love and you can be very, very happy at the beginning, but that goes away. So I think you have to really find out, the person you are, in love, that is probably also have to be your best friend, because this is, in the Catholic Church, this is a commitment for life. It's not that, when things get difficult, I just throw the towel and try again. No, when you get married, it's forever. So I think it's one of the things that you have to be really know that this is something that is for life, and you have time, there's no rush, and the love piece to be, that you are in love or in the honeymoon, as they say, that will go away, because there's always issues and problems that will arise. So I think it's first you have to know that that's how you want. You have to know the person. You have to know that that person is going to be with you forever. You have to have an idea, if you see your in-laws, how that person is going to become, because when you are young, you are completely in love, you love her, but then you have to see, well, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, how they are doing, and at the end, something is going to be like that. So you have to be really convinced that this is it. It's a commitment. It's not easy, but you have up and downs, and at the end you have to know that that's a partner for life. That's a very big thing in my view.
Hey guys, it's Ujwal. In honor of Black History Month, it's time for the African American Historical Heroes Challenge, brought to you by your local SMAF department. If you've forgotten, SMAF stands for Social Studies, Music, Art, PE, and Health. Now, can you be the first student in your grade level to email Mr. Corrigan with a 2-sentence description of the impact of the following historical figure? Today's category is art. Okay, here goes. The African American historical hero for today is Amina Brenda Lynn Robinson. If you are the first student in your grade level to email Mr. Corrigan with an accurate description, you will earn 3 bonus points in any SMAF class. Good luck.
And I will say that you will know if you are caught up for marriage, and when you're ready, when you find yourselves in situations in which you say, well, what will be my life path, and what do I want for myself? And sometimes the decision is not easy. In my case, it was just to not to study a career because I couldn't afford it myself, and my parents didn't want to afford it anymore if I wanted to be married. And it didn't matter because I think that was my call, and I was happy to follow it. So I'm sure you will know, yes, it is a commitment for life in the Catholic religion, and it has its rewards. It has a big rewards when you commit to be best friends with somebody. You know how you will always have somebody to count on, and that is very precious. And it's a gift. It's a gift that you receive when you commit your life to somebody. And pray for that person. I don't know, probably that person is in this room, or probably that person will need a prayer from you from today. So pray for that person. Pray that your spouse, or your husband or your wife, pray for them to be well. Pray for them to have good experiences, and that you meet when you need to meet. But you can start praying for your partner, for your partners, your life partners from today. So add that into your routine. That person probably when you met her or you met him, say, I've been praying for you since I was in my sophomore year because a teacher just told me to do that, and that person will feel very, very special. So start praying for your partner, spouse or wife.
Podcast Cristo Rey Pod. What's this? Okay. Alright. I can dig it. Let's see what we got.
Spirit Week is the greatest week. Spirit Week is the greatest week.
Spirit Week is the greatest week. There is no other week like it. Spirit Week is the greatest week. All other weeks disappoint me. Spirit Week is the greatest week. All other weeks make me so sad. I wish every week was Spirit Week. Yeah!